Okay, we're still in a dream. Moving on.
Snake Eater.
Yep.
So after magically opening the door via the power of Looney Tunes gag, Snake can get inside, I guess.
Yes. Alright, we're inside the lab.
Maybe you should take some camouflaging precautions.
Don't worry, we will.
So you're going to embrace your inner Agent 47 and dress up as,
Security on the inside is very tight.
to get inside.
Find it difficult to look for
Well, we already had that moment where we disguised ourselves as a soldier in Metal Gear Solid 2.
Use the clothes
So
that
now we're
Pedro
going to
gave you
disguise ourselves as a scientist.
And in Metal Gear 2 as
To
well.
disguise yourself as a scientist, go into the survival viewer and select scientist from the uniform option on the camouflage
Brilliant.
screen.
Of course.
Alright, let's do that then.
Changing clothes is this easy, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Professor Snake.
Well, I prefer Dr. Snake. It
There you
rolls
go.
off the tongue a bit better.
Alright, so here's the scientist outfit.
He's still wearing the bandana.
And as you can see, he even has glasses. Apparently the glasses...
Because he's a doctor.
Excuse me, Doctor, but why are you wearing a bandana?
You know, I'm actually surprised this wasn't one of the costumes added in Brawl.
He's also, as you can see, he's also very, careful about hygiene because he's wearing gloves.
We
Good on him.
don't even get Dr. Snake in Bomberman, Super Bomberman R either.
We should have got a Dr. Mario spin-off with that for the Switch.
Alright, let's see.
See here, just a doctor with a bandana.
Alright, let's see if we can find Sokolov.
Well, so far Pedro is faring better in terms of disguise when lives in Red Faction.
Because a lot of those were just bullshit.
Sure.
Anyway, the basic idea is, while people will not bother you when you're wearing the scientist outfit, don't get too close to them or start messing with them because you'll arise suspicion as you... So...
It makes sense. Like, again, up close, you may wonder why a doctor is wearing a war-torn bandana. Like that.
Why is this scientist wearing a bandana on his head?
It
Why does he
helps
cry
prevent
like that?
reflecting.
And
Why does he
why?
cries like that when he runs?
Yeah, why is he running like he has a rod shoved up his ass?
James, if you haven't noticed, the guards had a weird posture of their own, walking with their gun, in hand. Hello there.
But
Don't
that's
worry,
the
we'll
thing,
take a
see,
better look at it
Snakes
later.
Sticks out amongst them. Oh, hello.
Remember, the scientists will actually discover you better because they know that you're not here from here.
So, if anything, you want to be even more wary around them.
There you
While
go.
they may not pose the
Alright,
most
here's the poster for
Hello.
Mami Yamazaki. I don't know if she's a real person. Like,
Let me.
it looks like it's a live action shot, so it might be.
Or maybe it's a stage name.
Well, what I'm asking is if it's a real person.
Let's see,
Just a
Mommy.
model with the same
Mami
name.
Yamazaki. Oh, let's see. She played Shizuka of the Wind in the Super Sentai series.
Well, there you go. then.
Go Sentai Bokenja.
Maybe she posed for what I guess is Japan's equivalent of the Playboy magazine, and that's a photo from her. Maybe, I don't know.
Potentially.
But apparently she's Sentai alumni. Go figure.
Fair enough.
Let's see. An idol and actress.
Well, there you go then. Oh, speaking of that, we got ourselves a book. What kind of book is it? Well, this also adds up to something that we also saw in Metal Gear Solid 2. Hold on.
You thump the enemy with it.
No, the enemy thumps himself with it. If it's actually a dirty
think
book,
Wiz means-
as an anime character would call it. It's a dirty book.
I think what Dwibs was asking was, can you knock a guy out with the book?
No, you cannot. Basically, what you do, Dwibs, you put the book on the ground, and a guard that passes by it will get distracted and start laughing, happily browsing through it. Basically.
Yes. Security's finest.
You know what's fun, Shirai? In the fourth game, we have a shop that we can use. We can buy as many of these books to distract the guards as we want. So
One of these days is going to be a game where you can use sexy no jutsu to get your way through this stuff.
indeed.
Gender bent snake. I can't imagine that.
In fact, let's try
It's
it. Right?
only a matter of time, really, until there's nanomachines to that.
Possibly.
In fact, let's try it right now.
I mean, I guess these guys spend so much time on the clock that they don't really.
Oh, yeah,
have
one
time to
thing-
fulfill.
One thing that's also important to remember is that you cannot use any equipment while you're disguised as the scientist. So in order to do it, you'd have to remove the camouflage. That being said, it's relatively easy to find a safe spot where you can do that, so it's not that big a deal. There you go. See, you can even see the girl in the bikini there. So
Snake, focus.
look. The guy has been under a tremendous amount of stress over the last week. He had his mentor betray him.
Not to mention, Eva
But
keeps
the fate of the world is at stake, man.
He
Not
needs.
to mention, Eva keeps teasing him, so that can't have helped.
Yeah, Eva.
Snake.
Yeah, Eva teasing him doesn't help either. So, oh, there you go.
Oh.
Can't imagine why anyone would leave such a conspicuous thing around here, but I won't suspect it at all.
The other comrades will not never know.
Every
Alas, yeah, okay. Even to this day, you can't throw naughty magazines at the henchmen in Hitman to distract them.
Weird.
Well, based from what I could tell, Hitman's tone is much more straightforward and serious
You can still
compared to
do
Metal
that.
Gear.
I mean, it's not as okay. There is a lot of humor in the Hitman series, but it's not as it's not like how Metal Gear does it.
It's
Sure.
more dependent on the player's action, like Agent 47 dressed as a clown, using a fish to be thrown at people, stuff like that.
The funny thing about it is that no matter what disguise you're in, Agent 47 still carries that dead serious expression on his face.
Yeah,
And
although
the barcode.
yeah,
thing.
although in the more recent games, they have the enforcer.
All right, and now we have an important cutscene.
I think we're about to
You can see
find
through your
him.
disguise.
I'm here for your
I'm here
proctology
for
exam.
surgery.
Hello?
He's buzzed.
If you're looking for Sokolov, he's not here anymore.
Okay. Why do we have an action figure of Jehuti in the background?
Where my drink?
Because Zone of the Enders.
Yep.
No,
Guess he was involved with the
everyone's
Soviets.
talking about. Typical Captain.
Maybe it's Kojima's way of subliminally. Maybe it's Kojima's way of subliminally telling you to buy Zone of Enders.
Indeed.
You mean you've never heard of me? And you call
Sorry.
yourself an agent? Very well then. I am Alexander Leonovich Grad.
He's voiced by Jim Ward, aka Captain Quark from the Ratchet and Clank series.
Unfortunately, he had to retire.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of health issues, he had to retire. Yeah.
And the head of the glorious Granin Design Bureau. This is
Yeah,
the order
Nick is
of
not
weapons.
amused.
It is an honor of the greatest magnitude.
That's why
given
you're
along with
drinking
the
out
title
your
of
sorrows
Hero of
here.
Socialism to only
And
the
that
finest
includes the
workers.
Jehuti action figure?
It was awarded
Yes.
to me in recognition of my
Like I
brilliant
said,
Look, just
buy
because-
Zone of Enders,
Just
buy Zone of
Teo,
Enders.
just because he's working for the bad guy, that doesn't mean he can't be a fan of Zone of Enders.
countless weapons
Jeez.
in the service of our great
If anything,
communist
he should have an Anubis action figure.
It was thanks to me that we were able to stamp out the Nazi scum.
Yeah, because the Soviet Union was so
hold
much
on.
better.
Hold on, this bit here is important. Notice his partner who helped them create the mobile ballistic missile systems. We're going to see it in a photo in a moment.
One seat.
We could see the
Yeah,
photo earlier. By the way,
yeah.
we could see the photo earlier, but we're going to have a close up of it later.
How much vodka is in that?
Crocked, aren't you?
I merely
Yeah,
Yeah.
doesn't that guy look just a little familiar?
because of him. I've got nothing to do but sit here.
I mean, you get still paid for it.
Him.
Sokolov. It's him you're looking for, isn't it? Because of him, I have been stripped of my authority. My research has come to nothing. Look,
Oh yeah, here you go. This is a part where it shows that this game is very important in terms of lore. So yeah, whatever it was, there you go. Ooh, that design looks familiar.
It's a bit grainy, but
Yeah, so basically, Shiro, this guy is the original creator of the Metal Gear bipedal tank.
A robot.
So, which means that the scientist that we from the original Metal Gear that we thought created it turns out he stole the design.
This technology.
Considering he was a bad guy,
He was a scientist.
Hey, that's Ray.
considering he was a bad guy, that's not surprising.
And this
Well,
What
he
nationality was that scientist again?
revolutionary
Check,
Russian, I believe.
Russian.
Oh,
Ah, okay, because I was going to make a... Yeah, no.
still Eastern European. At the very least.
Metal Gear.
Remember,
There you go, everybody. The first ever timeline-wise, where the words Metal Gear were uttered. And they go, oh, ooh, that guy looks very familiar. That guy was next to Grennan, doesn't he? So there you go, Shiro. Guess what? Otocon's dad was also a partner of this guy and worked on the original Metal Gears. So there you go.
like father, like son. I mean, I guess you could say son ended up making a bigger, deadlier Metal Gear, but
rocket engine on a tank.
gotta start
In
somewhere.
case you're wondering, Otacon mentioned in
Does not need a rocket.
either the first or the second game that his family worked with the Manhattan Project, so it's not too uncommon that one of the family members will defect to the Soviets.
No.
But mate, we're talking about Sokolov.
Legs that allow it to go
Well, in case you haven't realized, this guy's not exactly sober right now.
The real revolution in weaponry. Don't you agree?
What?
But
I love the detail that there's two drawers in the background. Well, actually, no, I think more than two. Actually, there's a couple. There's a few drawers that are open.
the project has been terminated.
It's like someone made a level for the Toy Story 2 video game and just left it there.
What the hell are you talking about?
All right, let's go.
The philosopher's
This
legacy.
is important. Listen.
Oh,
Have you heard of the philosophers?
not really.
The Colonel has inherited their immense legacy. Volgin's father was in charge of the philosophers' money laundering activities. In the confusion of the war, somehow ended up with their treasure. And Volgin inherited that treasure illegally. We never need to worry about the military budget. The development costs at our facility are all paid out of the Colonel's deep pockets.
Lovely.
The weapons born here will be the genes for creating an entirely new form of warfare.
We'll call it metallic
Funding
geary
from our
cut. No,
research
Metal Slug. Yeah.
legacy.
We'll workshop the name, Dubs.
Now, my money, my men, all have been diverted to the Shagohod project. Tomorrow they will be conducting the final test, while Sokolov is making the final.
So there you go. So there you go. For a while, Metal Gear was about to be cancelled, and the Shagohod thing from Sokolov would become the proper new bipedal mass weapon. But we all know that's not how it turned out. So obviously, Snake is going to put a stop to this.
Anyway, to answer your question, Dwibs, the guy from the original Metal Gear was Dr. Drago
Petrovich Madnar. Yep.
Are you mad? It's an impenetrable fortress.
Grozny Grad, that's the name he mentioned.
You'll be killed.
I'll take my chances.
Yeah.
Wait.
What?
Listen to me, you fool.
You sound so chill about those chances.
You.
Basically, he's like,
To thank you for your kindness.
ah,
What compliment?
Just roll with his snake.
Tatiana gave
let's be honest, that's just his way of having an easy out for, going against the higher order.
For the record, Tatiana is the name that Eva goes by while being infiltrated around here.
There is an underground tunnel that runs around the
Again,
perimeter.
I'm not sure we're supposed to know that yet in the game, but we'll
Should be
see.
able to use it to sneak
Well, argue it's not that big a deal. Her covert name's not really a big deal. So
No, I mean, remember,
the tunnel.
as far as, Tatiana goes and
I mean,
whatnot,
put it this way,
that
Java,
is-
it's way less, kept secret compared to stuff like Wise Man being, face
Passed
father.
through a warehouse on your way here.
Yeah.
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 Should have been a locked door inside of it.
Yeah.
We
You remember
didn't
it.
notice, actually.
it was there too. It's just that I didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
We'll open that
You know what that means? Backtracking.
Well, don't worry, this is not a Metal Gear Solid 1 situation. It's actually very easy to backtrack over there.
From the far end of the jungle.
If I recall correctly, while you can in theory backtrack a lot, you rarely ever have to go back far.
No,
in this
it's not
game.
like Pedro just said. It's not a reason like you need to get this weapon that is stored way back at the beginning.
Why are you
Danny?
helping me?
Unlike Sokolov, the thought of defecting has never once crossed my mind. I love my country. I love this land.
Cue the national
I
anthem.
can't imagine living anywhere else. I wish to remain a hero of the great motherland.
Nobody tell him.
Cannot bear the thought.
It'll last another 30 years.
Pounded into a corner and left
And
to wait
roundabouts.
I think Trouble was referring to more like the crimes against humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Must hurry. I will remain here and nurse my troubles for a little longer.
Just a little, huh?
And by nurse my troubles, I mean drink myself stupor.
Hey, I can understand that.
I mean, also to be fair, those
Capitalism.
Yeah.
and also to
Shut
be
up, Mr.
fair,
Grizz.
also to be fair, those who are those who won all the stuff under the Soviet Union have all those accolades. I'm pretty sure they imagined the Soviet Union to last a bit longer than the year that Sonic the Hedgehog was made.
Sokolov's already been moved to the fortress.
But that's only what Granin told you, right? He may have been giving you false info.
No, he wasn't lying.
How can you be so sure?
Gut
He was
feeling.
piss drunk.
Good
He
enough,
would have
Reed.
to be an
According
amazing,
to Granny,
amazing
should be able to get to the
actor
mountains through a
to
passage
lie while
located
being
deep in
piss
the
drunk.
jungle beyond
Not to
Alcohol
mention,
is like nature's
Right.
truth serum.
not to mention, we can't find Sokolov in here, and we have no other leads, so might as well go with this. So might as well go with this.
Yes,
Use
yeah.
the key you got from Granin
It's
to
more of,
open the door
don't
and
forget,
proceed into the
Mojo,
jungle.
that a lot of
You
people
remember
are
where the
able,
door is,
not
don't you?
able, but
It's
end
directly
up
north
saying
of the door
literal
you went in when
nonsense
you came
while
from the
drunk.
aqueduct.
So it's more of a lucky guess, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I will say
Most
this,
people do ramble to hell and back, though.
Like, yes, oversharing is a thing that happens, but it's one possible outcome.
he was just coherent enough in regards to what mattered while being piss drunk.
Maniacal laughter for some reason.
Maniacal laugh. Maniacal laugh. Alright.
Hello, fellow scientists. How do you do?
This
No,
particular...
no, it's like that gag with the Muppets. Doctor? Doctor? Doctor?
Doctor.
Mm-hmm. There you go, see?
Oh dear.
Shit.
You really... so again, the scientists actually will notice that you're not one of them, so...
And by Lodgreve's logic, we should be now shooting the scientist.
Let's see, since
Actually, yeah, if someone spots you like that in a Hitman game, you can just run away and hide until they just give up and walk back, and you can try infiltrate you again.
Well, same thing here.
Well, I was referring to Red Faction Blues, where you kill people because, in your own words, they alerted the guards.
See, this is how much of a legendary soldier Big Boss is. He's able to take down two guys at the same time with just one kick. See?
amazing.
And also, Tio, the reason I killed both of them actually was because the people that were there were being complicit in the diabolical plot by Ultor.
AKA, they were just in your line of sight and you wanted to shoot.
Complicitness is part of the problem.
If that makes you sleep at night, sure.
Sure.
Again, we had no way of knowing how
Actually, Pedro,
complicit they were.
while we're at it, might as well ask you this question, because I don't remember if the game explains it later or not. But if I recall correctly, if you perform certain actions during the game, you do get new type of camouflages.
Yes.
To use on your own.
I'm actually gonna I'm actually gonna show an example. Like if you defeat a specific boss battle in a specific way, you can get that boss's camouflage suit.
Yeah, I remember that. I just don't remember how much exactly is in the game or not.
Oh, there's quite a bit. Like the thing about the PS2 Metal Gear games, like PS1, the original Metal Gear Solid trilogy, is that
what with the slowdowns?
again, too, like I've told you, the emulation on this on the Xbox One version doesn't seem to be particularly great. Like from what I've seen, playing this on the X and Series consoles doesn't upgrade the resolution, so it doesn't seem like there's an Xbox One X/Series patch for these emulations. They seem to just operate on the same basic config that was made for the Xbox One S. But yet, there are the occasional slowdowns in this emulation.
Like you said, Maxor encountered some of these while emulating the game, the PS3 version back then. So maybe it's a thing inherited in the code potentially.
Well, that's the thing too. Like when I played when I played this HD collection on my PS3 on actual real hardware, I never had any single slowdown. So I'm gonna have to say,
well, whatever. Moving on.
I mean, I haven't actually played through the game on our PCS3 yet, but based on my testings, it didn't seem like it had any issues. But again, I would have to do a full playthrough in order to prove anything otherwise. But we'll see. Like when if I had started this playthrough just a couple weeks later, I probably would have just used our PCS3. Like originally, I just figured I would just use this simulation because it's official. So I figured like it was made by a natural proper team and everything. But
honestly, I think this is just fine, really. And again, like we have no way of knowing if our PCS3 would even fully clear all that stuff out. Like, and honestly, it doesn't seem that noticeable, and it's stuff that was, there with the original game.
Well,
now,
wait
granted,
until the game is over to make a comparison to what I said before.
that too, yeah.
like I said, I never experienced any of this on my original hardware. So
I wonder if you got the lucky playthrough in that regard. But anyway, Pedro, I got something to ask.
go on.
So, Metal Gear Solid 4, are you also going to use the camouflage skins, let's call them?
The Octos.
The game's equivalent.
Well, we have the camouflage handle in 4 is handled much more streamlined. There's I mean the you always have the octo camo suit with you, so it's not like it's not
the face meshes.
Oh, the face meshes. Well, yeah. I mean, there's one point where it's even required and everything.
I mean, I wonder, are you gonna play around with them even after that point, or?
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how things go.
Point in asking now.
There's a usual one I use, but I won't spoil the context of that until we get to that. So, tune in next game, audience.
For Guns of the Patriots, I'm gonna be playing on a natural PS3.
Oh, that's kind of the only way to play that
No,
game.
no, actually, the definitive now.
Officially.
Well, yeah, officially, yes. The like if you go beyond the official means, though, the best way to play Metal Gear Solid 4 is on RPCS3 with the 60 FPS patches. The problem is you need to have a very, very beefy PC to run the game at a rock solid 60 FPS.
I swear, it's like the world is constantly against Metal Gear Solid 4 seeing its face on anything but a PS3, and that really frustrates me, because Metal Gear Solid 4...
Oh my god.
What's wrong?
Turns out Shirei did light up his batteries instead of poisoning him.
Snake, can you excuse me for a second?
He's about to laugh.
Hold on, listen here.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah. There's no way eating a bioluminescent mushroom will
I
cause
see
your batteries
it.
to recharge.
But
What do you think it means?
Beats me. Maybe it's all in his mind.
You mean like a placebo effect?
Probably.
Why not? You've seen how gullible.
oh, second, one of us is gonna end up dead trying to revive the other one of these days, and it ain't gonna
By
be...
the way, paramedic, I heard all
Recharge
that.
the batteries when you eat it.
Wow.
Sigint, top 10 anime betrayals, Sigint. I thought you were our bro, Sigint.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, all these calls are just everyone bickering the entire time.
Okay. New theory. This would later lead to Naked Snake forming a plot of revenge, and that's the real reason why the DARPA chief was killed in Metal Gear Solid 1. Not because of the information on Metal Gear Rex, but because Big Boss planned that revenge and
Considering
all
how Big
those
Boss
years.
was way dead until at that point, I'm not entirely sure.
Tio, as we'll see with Metal Gear Solid 4,
I know what I
simple death
said.
does not stop the plans of somebody in the long run.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Well, technically, Joe, we already saw that in Metal Gear Solid 2. Liquid died at the end of Metal Gear Solid 1, and yet there he is in Ocelot's body via the arm. So we've already passed that threshold, Jova. So
My point is like, well, there are some people who will plan for stuff well beyond their depth in this franchise. So like I said, I'm convinced now the real reason the DARPA chief was killed in Metal Gear Solid 1 was because of this insult to Naked Snake's pride.
Alright, so the plan is back to the aqueduct now that we have the key, and we can go through that door, which should lead us to the place where we need to go.
You know, I've noticed that when he doesn't have anything in his hands, he's holding them like he's a T-Rex, like upwards and curled.
Basically.
Not sure why. Is it to perhaps foreshadow the making of Metal Gear Rex?
It's it's still the similar posture when he does with the gun and knife combo. So. Shit.
Quick. Yeah, let's go there. Quick. Hide in the grass like a snake. Speaking of which, there are snakes here. Crawl things the way I will do.
Snake
We're not there
eater.
yet, Jova.
I mean, we are in that game.
Yeah, we're not at that point yet. Again,
Someday you will go for the rain.
Don't just
And someday you'll eat a tree
beat on
frog.
a tree frog. Yeah.
On a tree frog.
Yoink.
Yoink.
How's that for a snake bite? Oh god, can you imagine if snakes evolved to the point where they could literally shoot darts at you?
Oh, trying to think.
Well, in Phantom Pain,
Some cobras actually do. Well, no, I think you eat cobras. Some species of snakes, at the very least, spit their poison at you. You know the Dilophosaurus scene from Jurassic Park? It's kind of like that.
there's also the next upcoming Cobra boss battle we're gonna have.
Oh yes, I have something to say about the mechanics used in that. Well, it's a tree I'm pretty sure most people know it at this point, but we'll get to that.
And there we go.
Good night.
There you go. And since all the guards are incapacitated right now, we revert back to default state.
Yeah.
Ah, look at that. They're sleeping peacefully because Naked Snake put them to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can imagine they kiss Snake's bedtime stories.
I mean,
Welcome
hey,
to bedtime stories with Naked Snake.
Why not calling
probably
that?
made-
And then,
then?
and then this is how it goes.
You say there are
Let me
attack
begin
dogs?
the story.
Those
Good
attack
night.
dogs are Great Danes.
Ah,
The
dang,
breed
it's
is originally
okay.
from Germany.
Yeah.
They've been used for hundreds of years as hunting dogs. As you can see, they're very large, strong too. They've got a calm yet courageous temperament, and on top of that, they're extremely
this
intelligent.
crossover with Scooby-Doo is
In
quite
some cases, a
interesting.
trained Great Dane can be more dangerous than a human opponent. Watch out for them.
Interesting.
Forget it, Snake.
What?
You were thinking about how they taste.
Oh my god!
Wasn't thinking.
No, I
I thought he
would.
was going to waiting for a
I
dog
could tell by the look on
companion.
your face.
Medic,
Can't
he's not-
see.
Yeah, you can see my face.
Said nothing. Like,
Jesus,
Don't you
Medic.
Hey,
think about
man.
trying to capture
Assuming
an attack dog.
much?
You
This
hear
ain't
me?
Korea.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't they kind of eat dogs in Germany too?
Not really. It's more of a thing. It's more of a cultural thing that's more acceptable in Central East and a bit of Southeast Asia.
Mm-hmm.
But still, though,
Again,
geez,
Jova,
what the heck was...
Our ethics in terms of what we decide to eat, and what we instead consider, as an animal species, cute or sacred enough to not to it or find it repulsive to it, really varies depending on the country you go through. Like, again, people from India look at us with disgust because we eat cows, which are instead sacred to them.
Indeed.
Yeah, apparently Germany have only eaten dogs in times of crisis.
Yeah, like
Which-
during the war. You have to understand, Java, during the war, people would eat anything, including their shoes, because they were made with actual leather. Like, they were that desperate.
But seriously though, what the hell is up with paramedic assuming the worst of Snake there? Like, Jesus, he's
If
not
anything,
a
I
monster.
thought originally that he was going to ask for a dog companion. That would have been more logical.
Which would have been amazing foreshadowing for Phantom Pain. Is yes, you do get an awesome dog companion there. Wow, tasty.
What a morsel.
So, what happens when the snake devours the snakes?
Cannibalism?
Mm-hmm.
Is this throwing nature out of balance?
So I've just been reading some trivia, and apparently, there was going to be a bit in the game where there was a radio station where Kojima and other Konami staff sang karaoke so poorly that it actually drains your health.
Yeah,
They
that's the
got
kind
lots
of
of space constraints.
yeah, that's the kind of thing that Kojima would definitely put in the game.
It's funny because that's
What would they be
exactly
thinking?
how.
That song that plays on a loop in Hong Kong '97.
It's funny. That's more or less how the Team Blast for Team Chaotix and Sonic Heroes goes.
What did you mean?
Yeah.
I was just going to say that if you weren't going to eat it, you should bring it back to me. I've always wanted to try some.
Whatever.
Remember, she's a weeb, so so instant noodles is something that she would love to try. All right, everybody.
Movie trivia.
We're going
today.
to continue the next part, but
I
first,
see
time for
you've got
some.
a
Oh,
coral I mean, a milk snake. The milk snake closely resembles the coral snake, but it's actually not venomous.
Wow, what are you gonna call it?
Even so,
A
you'll
coral
still take
snake.
damage if it bites you, so don't get too
Why do we
close.
have a picture of a knife, though?
So is
it's one of the many pictures that they shows. I think it showed sometimes for some reason it shows that one of the many
The
pictures.
wrong
Almost
picture.
exactly alike.
Is
I
that
guess if I
supposed to
had
be a
pick
quirky
something, I'd say
joke?
it's that the milk
Probably
snake
not.
is much less aggressive.
okay?
Ah, I just thought of a better way. You're going
Oh
to love
boy.
this.
Okay.
What?
Eat it.
Eat it.
Yeah. The guide
Get
says milk
yourself
snakes
an
don't taste
egg and
very good.
beat it.
Well, eat it yourself then.
But if I've already caught and eaten it, what does it matter which kind of snake it was?
It doesn't, does it? Shoot, I thought I had a good idea.
The people in charge of rescuing the world from nuclear
I'm pretty
warfare,
sure different
everybody.
varieties of snakes do taste differently.
I get the feeling.
Whatever.
I get the feeling paramedic was just trying to troll Snake. All right.
According to Granin, you should be able to get to the mountains through a passage located deep in the jungle beyond the warehouse. Start out by going back to the warehouse. Use the key you got from Granin to open the door and proceed into the jungle.
Okay, sounds like a
Remember
plan.
where the door is, don't you? It's directly north of the door you went in when you came from the aqueduct.
I'm sorry, Major. We kind of need a magical,
Alright,
compass
let's
to
save.
tell us
You
where
want
to go.
save?
All right, and time for today's movie trivia.
Snake, have you ever seen For a Fistful
Oh.
of
Ah, a western.
Wow.
It's a spaghetti western.
Spaghetti western.
It's really cool, especially the main character's stylish gunplay.
Gunplay.
The man
I
with
saw
no
it in England on the
name.
Major's recommendation, but it hasn't come out in the States yet. It's so cool. They'll bring it to America, I'm sure. You have to see it sometime.
Sure.
When was the release date in America, Dweebs?
What film was it?
For a
For a
fistful
fistful
of
of
dollars.
For
Clint
a.
Eastwood.
In fact, in fact, that's pretty much.
Oh, yeah, it's from Sergio Leone. It came out in Leone's native Italy in 1964, and other countries in 1965.
So yeah, by the time in the universe in this game, yeah, Paramedic is correct. The movie still has to come out in the States.
Yep,
That's
basically.
probably why Snake hadn't seen it yet, because, yeah, no, Fistful of Doors was definitely one of the quintessential
It's also
things.
that call also kind of pretty much gives you a very good confirmation that the stylish gunplay that Ocelot has is probably inspired by that movie. So, see you for the next part, everybody.
Yeah.
See ya.
So, yeah.